and today I'm reading you my Golden Girls Readathon Murder Mystery Edition TBR. So I'm super excited for this Murder Mystery Edition of the Golden Girls Readathon. It's the first time we've done it, and I'm just so excited to see what you guys think and if you enjoy it, and to read some spooky books with you all. So I wanted to set this up in case you don't like reading spooky books, that you really don't have to. I try to keep everything very open so that you can read whatever you want to participate in the Murder Mystery Edition. So it runs a little bit like Clue. You have to read books to collect cards, and then those cards allow you to make guesses of like who done it. So we're gonna have a live show event later on to actually see who did this murder, with what and where. So if you want any more information about the Golden Girls Murder Mystery Readathon, definitely check out the links below. I have everything you'll need linked down in the description box. So with that said, let's jump into the TBR. So I have my game card printed out here with some notes to help me do this video with you. And basically I went through and picked out all 12 books. I do not think I'm going to get all of them done. Like, I know I'm not. It's only 2 weeks. I am not going to read 12 books, and I have other things I need to read. So it's not going to happen, but I wanted to have a stack ready to go. That way I can fulfill every prompt if for some reason I get all this extra reading time. So let's jump in and see all of the books, and I'll tell you which ones I'm probably most likely to get to. I'm definitely going to try to hit one in each category. That way I have a complete guess at the end of the readathon. So the first card is Blanche, and the prompt is to read a book whose author's name starts with R. So I picked out Spook by Mary Roach. I have not read a Mary Roach book yet, and this seemed like the perfect place to start. I've heard great things, and I think this would be like the perfect book to read in this spooky season. So this is definitely an option. Next is the Dorothy card, and for that I need to read a book with an author's name who starts with a B. So for that I'm going to pick The Jumbies by Tracy Baptiste. Again, I've heard tremendous things about this, and I have not read anything in the Jumbie series yet, and I would like to fix that. So we're going to add this to the possible TBR list. Next, for Rose, we have to read a book with an author's name that starts with a W, and for that I picked The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. I would say the last year I've read the 2 new releases by Ruth Ware, and I've enjoyed reading them, so I would like to go ahead and tackle some of her backlist. So I decided to go with this one. I think my mom has read this, so we'll be able to chat about it when I finish it, and I had it on my shelf, so I thought this would be perfect for the challenge. This is probably the one in this category that I'm most likely to read, so we'll see. And then last in this category is an author's name that starts with an E. For that, I had The Wicked Deep on my shelf, and this is by Shay Earnshaw. Again, I've heard really good things about this, and it seems like the perfect like spooky read. So I thought I would like to have this in the stack in case I get time to read it for the Sophia card. Now on to the crime scene cards. I feel like all of these, well not all, but a lot of these are kind of a stretch. So work with me here. The first one is the living room, so you need to have like an orange or a peach color, and this one I feel is a little bit of a stretch, but there's definitely some orange here, there's some pumpkins, and there's some orange color on the back. So I'm gonna read this. I wanted to read this so bad last fall, but I just really didn't get to it before fall was over, and I just felt like it was such it was just such a book that I had to read in the fall. I could not read it in either season, so I saved it all year. I'm going to read it this fall, and I'm going to make it count for this category. So this is one that is probably going to get read. Next up is The Kitchen, which it's a book with food on the cover. I thought this would actually be a lot easier than it was, and I own one book with food on the cover, and I just did not want to read it. So I had to dig pretty deep, and this is quite a stretch, y'all. So we might just skip this one, but it technically could count. I picked out 2 Truths and a Lie. It's alive. This is by Amy Joan Paquette and Laura Ann Thompson. I love this series, and I've been wanting to read another volume, and it has some sea creatures, some fish on the cover, and people eat fish and sea creatures, so that's my food choice. So I know that's a bit of a stretch. I probably won't get to it anyway, so it'll be fine. But, you know, maybe, because I have been wanting to read another edition of this. I read the History and Mystery one, and it's fantastic. Essentially, every chapter they give you 3 articles, and you have to pick the one that is actually, like, fake news. And it's a lot of fun. So we'll see. Next up is the Lanai, and this is nature on the cover, so I'm picking Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. There's definitely some like leaves happening here. I tried to read this a couple months ago and I just didn't get that far into it, and I had to put it down and read something else. So I would like to give it an actual try and see if I enjoy it. So I thought, I don't know, that could work for this prompt. So we'll keep it on our radar. It could happen. Next up is for Blanche's Room, and this is to read a romance. And for that, I've picked Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I've heard absolutely nothing but good things about this series, and I just think this would be a really, really cute little comedy. I feel like with everything else on my plate and on my TBR, a little light romance could be a good thing. So I don't know, maybe I'll go with a romance, but maybe I'll just stick to my spooky books. I'm not sure, but this is like my non-spooky alternative, I guess aside from the Two Truths and a Lie, but we'll see. And then on our last category, we have Cake Knife for The First Weapon, and this is a book with a knife on the cover. So I have Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco, and yeah, there's a little knife on the cover, so this could be good. I have not heard a ton of things about the series, to be honest, so I'm not sure. I know there's several books, so it must be pretty good if they just keep making them, so I might give it a try. I don't know, we'll see. It's probably not on like the top tier list, but it could happen. The one that is most likely to happen is Agatha Christie and Then There Were None. I'm hoping to buddy read this with my friend Stephanie this month, and I'm excited. I have not read this before. I haven't read a lot of Agatha Christie, so I'm excited to give it a try, and it'll be fun to buddy read it with Stephanie this month. Next up is another one that is pretty high on the list, and that is for Bowling Alley, a book with a circle on the cover, and I've picked Mr. Limoncello's Library by Chris Grabenstein. It definitely has several circles here, and this is a book that was on my fall TBR, and I'd really like to read it, so this is pretty high on the priority list. I know one of the new books in this series just came out, and I've heard a lot of good things, especially lately with the new book coming out, so there's a lot of motivation for me to want to get to this pretty soon. And then, if I manage to get a little bit more time, the last prompt is Silk Robe, a beautiful cover, and this is probably one of my favorite covers that I own right now, and that is Mexican Gothic. It is such a pretty cover. This is by Silvia Moreno Garcia, and oh my gosh, it looks beautiful. I think it's going to be perfectly spooky for this season, so that is also an option. So of these, probably the ones I'm most likely to get to. Let's pull those out. It's probably going to be these four. We have Mr. Limoncello, and Then There Were None, Pumpkinheads, and the Ruth Ware book, The Woman in Cabin 10. These are probably the four that I'm most likely to get to over the course of the 2 weeks of the Readathon. So yeah, there you have it. I have a big stack. I'm ready to go. I'm super excited to see what all of you are going to pick to read, and I hope we just have a fantastic time playing our little murder mystery game. And again, if you are also excited about the Golden Girls Murder Mystery Edition, check out the details below and join us for some spooky Golden Girls fun. And if you already know that you're going to be joining, let me know some books you're going to be reading. Definitely tag me or something in your TBRs. I'd love to see them all, and I'll try to share them out on some sort of social media platform as well. So definitely tag me or use our hashtags or something so that I can find your videos. So thank you so much for watching. Let's talk in the comments, and I will see you again in another video soon. Bye for now.